What is going on with the data business at FIA Tech?
So most recent updates here, we've been expanding our network quite a bit. We've introduced contract specifications, various different cross-reference symbologies, so bringing proprietary vendors into the space to be able to build out that Rosetta Stone of identifying particular vendor symbology, being able to translate it to the exchange symbologies and codes, ultimately to allow clients to be interoperable with FIA Tech services, and also be able to follow that product code from their vendor to us to the exchange. We've also introduced, a number of exchange event management services, lateral management, identifying haircuts, acceptable collateral, concentration limits, which has been picking up a bit pace with their clients. Corporate actions, honestly, just a lot of various different events management that helps our clients from the day that product is listed to the day it's delisted. One of the ones that has been picking up a lot of pace now is foreign security futures, which is around U.S. trade eligibility for the foreign securities that are listed outside the U.S. So these are focused mostly on index futures and single stock futures.
What led to your new agreement with Eurex?
Back in 2020, I would say about the second half of that year, the industry approached FIA Tech with an issue related to foreign security futures, and it was more about being able to identify products that are eligible and ineligible for their clients to be able to trade. And it also coincided with the KRX COSPI 200 issue. So the COSPI 200 has been a broad index back in 2020 for a while. One of the days, I believe it was back in March, where the COSPI did flip between broad to narrow because of a single constituent that went above a 30% threshold marker. Now, according to the 2009 CFTC and SEC jurisdiction, there's a few different checks in order to identify whether an index is broad or narrow. The definition around a narrow index is looking at the number of constituents within the basket itself, the top weight of that constituent, whether or not it goes past the 30% threshold. It looks at the top 5 constituent weights, whether or not it goes above 60%. And then it looks at the bottom 25% market value for that index. Now, if it hits any of the 4 checks, it identifies as narrow, and then you go into the primary trading market evaluation. This isn't new regulation. It has been around since 2009. The problem is being able to have the resources at the banks to be able to take a look at these individual products, to open up the hood on the actual index itself, do the evaluation on the constituents, and then performing it at a certain time of that month. Now, what we've identified across the industry when this was brought to our attention is that a lot of the firms are using spreadsheets and whatever resources they can, whether it's scraping from the web, trying to grab data that they may have internally, doing the evaluation, and then they're doing the evaluation when they have the time. So it's not the same time every single month. So what came to us right away is there's not a standardized approach to this. There's issues with getting the data. And so we took this away and kind of built up a proof of concept back in 2020, worked with the industry, I think about 10 participants, 10 FCMs, to really evaluate, okay, would this help them in their day-to-day, month-to-month activities? And we had agreement from the industry. So our next step naturally was to go identify, okay, what is the population of these products across the globe, across the markets that we cover? And what we've identified is the majority of these products are produced by what I call as product innovators, but the index providers themselves. We immediately reached out to those major index providers to build out partnerships to start receiving the constituent data to be able to perform the analysis. So in 2021, the first half of it, we built partnerships with MSCI, Wannago, S&P, and FTSE, and then a handful of exchanges that produce their own indices, in order to get those constituents to be able to do a deep dive. By taking that, we were able to partner with FactSet, which is our market data provider, to bring in the volume and the pricing information, and that's when we started building out our calculation engine. Now, by the second half of 2021, we did have our MVP product that we produced for the industry, and we immediately had established the majority of the tier 1 sell-side firms, which I believe is around 10 or so, and brought in our first buy side. Fast forwarding to last year, it was a pivotal moment for foreign security futures. Our analysis has caught the radar of Catton. Now, Catton is a legal advisor for a number of firms, exchanges around foreign security futures, and advises on other services as well. But foreign security futures was kind of their bread and butter, and they saw our analysis, and what we've done is we've partnered with them in order to incorporate their own Catton analysis into our product and be able to produce that for our clients. Because at the point of our clients using our service, they've also were working with Catton to get their own evaluation. By partnering with them, we were able to bring all that together into one single source and solution for the product or for the clients. Now, the later part of 2023 is where Eurex becomes involved. Towards the end of 2023, we signed a partnership agreement with Eurex. Eurex, we've been working with for the last few years around foreign security futures, and we got to the point where, because we've aligned the approach to the analysis, we have the data. Now, Eurex has decided to use us to evaluate their own products that they offer the industry and discontinue their list that they produce for their clients and their clearing members. Now, this is a big push for our product and for the industry as a whole, as it starts putting together more of a strategic approach to evaluating whether or not U.S. clients can or cannot trade these foreign security futures.
What is new with the database network services?
After building the foundation of all the attributes you need in the post-trade world, we started focusing on delivery and ways to push that data out to our clients in different formats. And what I mean by that is, typically, I guess going back in the day, FIA Tech was producing files from our data bank function in an SFTP, mostly a flat file. Now, a lot of firms completely fine with that, being able to consume it that way. But what we've done is we've introduced new partnerships. So Symphony is one of our new partners in this space. Symphony has a lot of different chat and communication functionality. And what we've done is we've built out a chatbot to be able to use all of our data services, all of our data feeds, and put it in the hands of the user. So doesn't matter which function that you sit at a firm, whether you're client service, you're sitting in operations, you're in IT, compliance. We want to remove the hurdle of being able to access our data and being able to just initiate a conversation with our chatbot and be able to pull back the information you need. So that's been a big win for us, and it really helps our clients and their experience with our data. I would say the other thing that we've introduced is we have a UI within our Accelerate platform. So a lot of the users that are already in Accelerate for Atlantis or some of our other services, Docs, OCR, now they're able to access our data bank contract information. So when you're going through your day-to-day business, sitting in the back office or in operations, and you have information and you have questions about a particular contract, well, now, the ease of use of being able to just flip over to our data bank kind of portal within Accelerate and look into those contract information, it provides kind of that ease of use for someone doing an operation function.
How is FIA Tech using AI?
Symphony is working with us on a few different proof of concepts to bring in natural language processing, LLMs, and ultimately AI to utilize to make our chatbot more efficient when it comes to non-structured questions, being able to kind of tie together various different data feeds and bring out an output to our client base. So that's one way. We are evaluating some other initiatives that I can't really speak yet on, John, but we are looking to incorporate AI to kind of alleviate some of the operational headaches, pain points that we know our clients are dealing with on a daily basis.